Darth, Theorist, rise.
What if Padme secretly followed Anakin to Palpatine's office? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. Padme sits in the quiet of her Coruscant apartment, hands resting on her belly. For 3 days, Anakin has come home withdrawn and troubled, offering no answers to her questions. His eyes no longer hold their usual warmth, and his temper rises without warning. The night before, he woke shouting and clutching the sheets, shaken by dreams he would not explain. She feels the distance growing and has no way to bridge it. A soft chime sounds. Anakin appears as a hologram, tense and unreadable. For the past few days, Anakin has been distant and tense. He spends long hours away on council matters and returns exhausted, his face drawn and eyes hard. Sleep seems rare, and he no longer shares his thoughts or fears. His demeanor carries a growing frustration with the Senate and the Jedi Council, leaving Padme uneasy. Each interaction feels shorter, colder, and more guarded. When he communicates through the holocomm, it is abrupt and formal, ending without explanation. Padme is left alone, watching him drift further away. She moves to a private communication console, one reserved for the most sensitive senatorial business. Her fingers hover over the controls for a moment before she inputs a secure frequency known to very few people in the galaxy. Mace Windu's stern features appear in the holographic display, his expression immediately shifting from annoyance to guarded attention when he recognizes her.
Master Windu, I need to speak with you about Anakin.
Senator Amidala, this is neither the time nor the appropriate channel.
Something is wrong. He's been different, distant, speaking against the Council. I'm afraid for him.
There are matters in motion, Senator. Skywalker has told us something very serious, and we must look into it first.
What are you talking about?
Stay where you are and wait for word.
Master Windu, please. If there's danger...
The hologram flickers off, leaving Padme alone with a growing sense of dread that settles in her chest like ice. The Jedi Master's tension, the urgency in the background, Anakin's increasing volatility, all of it points to a crisis she cannot see but feels approaching with the inevitability of a colliding star. She activates her personal communicator immediately, calling Anakin's private frequency. The wait stretches endlessly before his face appears, but this time something has fundamentally changed. His features carry a weight that seems to age him years in the span of hours.
Anakin, I just spoke with Master Windu. Something's happening, isn't it?
Padme, everything we thought we knew, everything I believed about the Chancellor.
He stops, his mechanical hand running through his hair as he struggles with the words that seem too large for normal conversation.
Tell me.
Palpatine is the Sith Lord. He's been manipulating both sides of the war from the beginning.
The revelation hits her like a physical blow. Chancellor Palpatine, the grandfatherly figure who guided her political career, who showed such faith in Anakin, whose emergency powers she'd helped vote into existence. A Sith Lord.
That's impossible.
I discovered it tonight. The Council is moving against him now. Mace took a strike team to arrest him.
Through the hologram, she can see him pacing in what appears to be an empty corridor, his movements sharp and erratic.
I should be there. I should be helping them. But they don't trust me. They never trusted me.
You're going to him? To Palpatine?
I have to. This is my destiny, Padme. Everything I've done, everything I've become, it leads to this moment.
The transmission ends and Padme stares at the empty air, where her husband's tortured expression had been. In that moment, she understands with crystal clarity that Anakin is walking toward a precipice that will either save or damn his soul, and he intends to face it alone. Without conscious thought, she moves towards her closet, pulling out the simple brown cloak she wears for clandestine meetings. Her senatorial training wars with her instincts as a wife. Protocol demands she wait, trust the proper authorities, let events unfold as they will, but love demands action. Padme navigates Coruscant's upper-level traffic, following routes memorized over years of secret Senate visits. The city pulses around her, unaware of the crisis unfolding in the government's highest levels. Senate security recognizes her codes, granting access to executive areas. In the lift, her heart races as distant sounds reach her. Shouts, lightsabers, and crashing furniture. The corridor to Palpatine's office feels oppressive, with flickering emergency lights and abandoned security posts. Approaching the outer office, the sounds of conflict sharpen. Mace Windu's commands, Jedi responses, and Palpatine's unfamiliar, menacing tone. She moves through the deserted space, blending with the shadows among overturned furniture and datapads. At the threshold to the inner office, she stops, pressed against the doorframe, witnessing the confrontation beyond. Master Windu stands with his purple lightsaber raised, its blade casting violet light across the walls scorched by energy discharge. 3 other Jedi lie motionless on the floor. Masters Kit Fisto, Ajen Kolar, and CC-Teen, their lightsabers scattered around them. Behind his massive desk, Chancellor Palpatine crouches with his hands raised, but his face carries an expression she has never seen. Cold, calculating, utterly without the warmth that defined their interactions.
He has control of the Senate and the courts. He's too dangerous to be left alive.
I'm too weak. Don't kill me, please. It's not the Jedi way. He must live.
Master Windu. Anakin.
Padme? What are you doing here? You shouldn't be here.
I had to, Annie. I couldn't just leave you like this.
Senator Amidala, I told you to stay put.
The distraction costs him. Palpatine's hands suddenly crackle with force lightning that arcs across the room with devastating power. Mace raises his lightsaber, deflecting the electricity back towards its source, but the assault's sheer intensity overwhelms his defenses. The lightning breaks through his guard, striking him with the force of a thunderbolt and hurling him backward against the office's reinforced wall. He crumples on the floor, his lightsaber clattering away across the polished marble. Palpatine rises to his full height. The Sith Lord's gaze fixes on Padme's with predatory calculation.
You should not have come here, my dear Senator. Some secrets are too dangerous for the living to carry.
His hands ignite with fresh lightning, more intense than before. The electrical discharge casting hellish shadows across the walls as he directs the lethal energy toward the woman whose only crime was loving Anakin Skywalker enough to follow him into destiny's path. In the chaos of crackling power and blinding light, Anakin moves with reflexes. His weapon springs to his hand and ignites with its familiar snap hiss. The blue blade intercepts Palpatine's lightning mere inches from Padme's chest, deflecting the deadly energy harmlessly into the ceiling. Chunks of stone rain down as the redirected power carves smoking furrows through the ornate architecture. Anakin steps protectively in front of his wife, his lightsaber held steady as fury builds in his voice.
You told me we would save her, not try to murder her. Everything you taught me about loyalty, about protecting those I love, it was all lies. You're the traitor here, not the Jedi.
Anakin, you don't understand the forces at work.
I understand perfectly. You used my fear against me, manipulated my love for her as a weapon. You made me doubt everything good in my life.
With swift precision, he brings the humming blade to rest against Palpatine's throat, the energy field close enough to singe the false Chancellor's skin.
No sudden movements, Chancellor. Or should I call you by your real name? Darth Sidious.
The choice that was meant to damn the galaxy instead saves it, as the woman who had loved him enough to follow him into darkness becomes the catalyst that finally opens his eyes to the light. The Senate chamber buzzes with unprecedented activity as news of Chancellor Palpatine's arrest spreads across Coruscant. Emergency session lighting illuminates the circular arrangement of senatorial platforms, each one filled with representatives whose faces reflect the shock of discovering their leader was the very enemy they fought against for 3 years. Senator Bail Organa stands at the central podium, his voice carrying clarity through the chamber's acoustics as he addresses the assembled delegates.
Fellow senators, we gather in extraordinary circumstances. The individual who held our highest office has been revealed as Darth Sidious, a Sith Lord who manipulated both sides of this conflict.
Murmurs ripple through the platforms as senators lean forward in their seats. Some show relief, others display confusion, and a troubling number wear expressions of defiant disbelief. Senator Ornfree Ta of Ryloth rises from his platform, his voice booming across the chamber.
How do we know these aren't fabricated charges? Chancellor Palpatine guided us through our darkest hours.
From another platform, Senator Mon Mothma responds with measured authority, displaying that the evidence is overwhelming. 3 Jedi Masters died uncovering this deception. Master Windu nearly gave his life to stop Sidious. In the Executive Detention Center beneath the Senate building, Palpatine sits in a containment cell designed for Force-sensitive prisoners. Energy fields hum around transparent walls, while specialized dampening technology prevents him from using his Sith powers. He stares ahead with yellow eyes that burn with contained fury, his once grandfatherly features now permanently twisted into something inhuman. Clone Commander Fox approaches the cell's monitoring station, his armor pristine white in the facility's harsh lighting.
Any activity from the prisoner?
Nothing, sir. He hasn't spoken since they brought him in. Just sits there, staring.
Inside the cell, Palpatine's lips curve into a barely perceptible smile. Order 66 was never issued. The clone army remains loyal to the Republic, and his decades of preparation seem undone. but the Sith Lord's mind works on contingencies his captors cannot imagine. Some days later, in the Senate's communication center, Padmé Amidala prepares for her most important broadcast. Pregnancy shows clearly now, but her voice carries the strength that has defined her political career. The recording equipment activates, and her image transmits across the holonet to billions of beings throughout the galaxy.
Citizens of the Republic, we stand at a crossroads. The war that has consumed our galaxy for 3 years was orchestrated by the very leader we trusted to end it. But we have an opportunity to build something better. The clone army served with honor, but they are soldiers, not enforcers. It's time to return power to civilian authorities and begin the process of demilitarization.
In hidden chambers across Coruscant, figures in expensive senatorial robes gather around conference tables. Their faces carry the desperation of those who have built careers on proximity to power, only to watch that power crumble. Senator Sly Moore, Palpatine's former aide, speaks in hushed tones to the assembled group.
The Chancellor heard contingencies for this scenario. Protocol 777 authorizes us to act in his name when he cannot act himself.
Senator Amidala's broadcasts are turning public opinion against everything we've worked for. She's calling for investigations into our emergency powers legislation.
Then she has made herself an obstacle to the Chancellor's eventual restoration. Obstacles must be removed.
In their Coruscant apartment, Anakin and Padme share quiet moments that have become precious beyond measure. The constant tension that plagued their relationship has lifted, replaced by something approaching peace. Anakin sits beside her on the couch, his mechanical hand resting gently on her rounded belly. For the first time in months, his face carries genuine contentment rather than the haunted expression that has become his default.
I can feel them. Both of them. Strong in the Force.
Them?
Twins, Padme. We're having twins.
What will we name them?
If they're boys, Luke and Lan. If they're girls, Leia and Lyra.
And if it's one of each?
Luke and Leia. I can feel it. One strong and determined, the other compassionate and wise. They'll bring balance to the galaxy in ways the Jedi never imagined.
The vision of their future seems bright, untainted by the darkness that had threatened to consume everything they held dear. 2 weeks later, the Senate convenes for a crucial vote on the Emergency Powers Revocation Act. The chamber fills beyond capacity as senators debate the future of Republic governance. Padme takes her position at the Naboo platform, reviewing her notes one final time. Around her, the debate rages with unprecedented intensity.
The emergency measures kept us safe during wartime.
They also allowed a Sith Lord to accumulate absolute power. We cannot make that mistake again.
Senators, democracy cannot survive under permanent emergency rule. We must choose between security and freedom. And I believe...
The explosion erupts from beneath the central platform with devastating force. Blast-proof transparent steel shatters into deadly fragments, while emergency lighting flickers across walls, suddenly painted with smoke and fire. The concussive wave throws senators from their platforms. Emergency alarms blare through the chaos as security forces pour into the chamber. Medics rush forward to the epicenter of the blast, where twisted metal and scattered debris mark the location of the Naboo delegation platform. Anakin feels the disturbance in the Force before any communication reaches him. A cold emptiness opens in his chest, expanding until breathing becomes impossible. He runs through Coruscant traffic with desperate speed, using the Force to leap between speeders and crash through security barriers. The tactical precision of the attack becomes clear within minutes. The blast was positioned specifically beneath the central voting platforms, targeting senators who supported the Emergency Powers Revocation Act. Senator Bail Organa, speaking from the Outer Rim platforms, survives with minor injuries. Mon Mothma, protected by her platform's reinforced structure, emerges shaken but alive. The Jedi Temple reports no casualties among their ranks. The bombing was purely political, designed to eliminate civilian opposition to Palpatine's eventual restoration. Medical teams work frantically among the wreckage, but the death toll is devastating. 37 senators killed instantly, including the entire Naboo delegation. Among the dead, Senator Padmé Amidala's name appears first on every casualty report. When he reaches the Senate building, medical transports already line the entrance. Clone medics carry stretchers past them, their faces grim behind their helmets.
Senator Amidala, where is she?
The medics look at him with eyes that have seen too much death in too few years.
I'm sorry, sir. Platform 7 took the full force of the blast. There were no survivors.
The words hit Anakin with physical force. He staggers backward, his vision narrowing to a tunnel as the galaxy tilts around him. In the space of seconds, the future they had planned together twins named Luke and Leia, peace after war, love conquering darkness, vanishes into smoke and ruin.
No, she can't be. I was going to save her. The visions, they were wrong. I changed them.
But the Force carries no comfort now. Only the echo of an absence that will never be filled. As he falls to his knees amid the chaos of rescue operations, something fundamental breaks inside the Chosen One. The democracy they died to save has killed the woman he lived to protect, and in that moment, Anakin Skywalker begins to understand that some wounds cut too deep for the light to heal. The Jedi Council chamber sits half empty in the afternoon light filtering through the temple's ancient windows. Master Yoda occupies his traditional seat, his gimmer stick resting across his lap as he surveys the collection of holograms and physical presences that represent what remains of the Jedi leadership. Master Ki-Adi-Mundi appears as a flickering blue projection from Magito, while Master Plo Koon's hologram shimmers from the outer rim. Only Master Windu sits physically present, his head still bandaged from the injury sustained in Palpatine's office. The discussion centers on immediate concerns: the investigation into the Senate bombing, the security arrangements for Palpatine's detention, and the political ramifications of revealing a Sith Lord had controlled the Republic for over a decade.
Failed, we have. See the darkness so close to us, we could not. Question now how to rebuild trust. We must.
The Senate investigation has traced the bombing to a network of Palpatine loyalists. Senator Moore and Senator Pistache have disappeared, along with several key aides. What of young Skywalker? The reports say he was instrumental in Sidious's capture, but he hasn't been seen since...
The chamber doors burst open with explosive force, cut away by a lightsaber that burns through the reinforced metal in precise lines. Anakin Skywalker strides through the smoking opening, his robes disheveled, his hair unkempt, his eyes carrying wild intensity that makes even the veteran Jedi Masters lean back in their seats.
Why couldn't you save her?
The question hangs in the air, charged with accusation and pain. The holograms flicker as their operators struggle to process the raw anguish radiating from the young Jedi Knight.
Anakin, we understand your grief.
Do you? Do you understand what it means to watch the woman you love die while you sit in meetings talking about politics?
Lost someone precious you have. But blame the Jedi for the actions of the Sith loyalists. You cannot.
The Force was supposed to guide us. The prophecies were supposed to mean something. I changed my destiny. I saved the Republic. I chose the light and she still died.
His lightsaber activates, the blue blade humming with barely controlled energy as he gestures wildly around the chamber.
What's the point of having power if you can't protect the people we love? What is the point of balance if innocent people suffer while evil schemes in prison cells?
Obi-Wan's hologram materializes as he joins the emergency session from his ship returning from Utapau.
Anakin, I know you're in pain, but this isn't the way.
Don't tell me about the way. The way got Padme killed. Your precious Jedi code got the mother of my children murdered by the very people we were supposed to protect.
He deactivates his lightsaber and storms toward the exit, his final words echoing through the chamber.
The light side feels empty, Master. Cold. Maybe it's time to try something else.
The chamber doors seal behind him, leaving the council in stunned silence. 2 hours later, in the maximum security detention facility beneath the Senate building, Anakin presents his credentials to the guard station. His identification as Hero of the Republic grants him access that few beings in the galaxy possess.
Sir, you're cleared for 15-minute consultation with the prisoner. Audio monitoring will remain active for security purposes.
Anakin nods and follows the guard through the multiple security checkpoints, past emergency barriers and armed clone troopers, until they reach the holding cell where Palpatine waits. The former Chancellor sits calmly in his containment unit, the energy fields casting blue light across his scarred features. When he sees Anakin approach, his lips curl into a smile that carries no warmth.
Anakin, my boy, I wondered when you would come.
They say you had her killed.
Did I? Or did the Republic you chose to save kill her instead?
You manipulated everything. You orchestrated the war, controlled both sides.
And yet it was Republic senators, your allies, who planted that bomb. It was the democracy you protected that murdered your wife. You saved the Republic, Anakin, and it still took her from you. Tell me, was your righteousness worth her life?
The security cameras capture Anakin's face as something fundamentally breaks in his eyes. The pain that has consumed him for days transforms into something harder, more focused.
No, it wasn't.
He turns and walks away, leaving Palpatine's laughter echoing through the detention facility. That night, the security systems in the detention center experience a cascading failure. Energy barriers fluctuate, surveillance cameras malfunction, and guard stations lose contact with the control center. By the time emergency teams restore power, they find the maximum security cell torn apart from the inside. Palpatine's body lies amid the wreckage, his neck broken and his face frozen in an expression of surprise. The metal walls bear scorch marks from lightning, but also deeper gouges from a lightsaber wielder with uncontrolled fury. The investigation later reveals that someone with intimate knowledge of Republic security protocols had systematically disabled every safety measure designed to contain a Force-sensitive prisoner. The only fingerprints recovered belonged to Anakin Skywalker. By morning, Coruscant burns. The Senate building erupts in flames as explosions rock its foundations. Government facilities across the planet report attacks by a lone figure wielding a blue lightsaber in deadly precision. Emergency broadcasts show security footage of Anakin moving through Republic installations with methodical destruction, his face devoid of emotion as he dismantles the very institutions he once swore to protect. When Obi-Wan's transport finally reaches Coruscant, columns of smoke rise from dozens of locations across the city. He rushes to the temple, where Masters Yoda and Windu coordinate the response to what only can be described as a one-man war against the Republic.
I came as soon as I received your message. How bad is it?
He killed Palpatine in his cell, then began systematically attacking government installations. No clone casualties. He's deliberately avoiding killing troopers, but the infrastructure damage.
Lost young Skywalker is, but not to the dark side as we understand it. To grief, to rage, without purpose, save destruction.
The debate that follows splits the council down the middle. Half demand Anakin's arrest for treason and murder, half argue for exile to prevent further damage. Only Yoda advocates for a different approach.
No creature born to light must we abandon. Save him, we still may. Send someone who loves him, we must. Send his brother.
The confrontation comes in the ruined Senate chamber, where emergency lighting flickers across the walls blackened by lightsaber cuts and explosion damage. Anakin stands alone among the wreckage, his robes singed, his face streaked with ash and tears. Obi-Wan approaches carefully, his lightsaber remaining clipped to his belt despite the destruction surrounding them.
You were never meant to fight the galaxy, Anakin.
The galaxy killed her, Obi-Wan. It deserves to drown.
Padme wouldn't want this. She believed in democracy, in peace through justice.
Padme is dead because of democracy. Dead because of justice. Dead because I chose to be a good Jedi instead of a good husband.
His lightsaber ignites, but the movement carries no precision, no control. Grief has made him dangerous, but also sloppy. The duel that follows breaks every tradition of lightsaber combat. Anakin fights with raw power, but no technique. His strikes wild and desperate. Obi-Wan responds with pure defense, deflecting attacks while refusing to counterattack.
I will not kill you, Anakin. I will not lose you too.
The words penetrate Anakin's rage, and for a moment his assaults waver. Obi-Wan seizes the opening, disarming his former apprentice and tackling him to the ground. They struggle among the debris, master and student locked in combat that has nothing to do with victory and everything to do with salvation. Finally, Anakin's strength fails him. He collapses against Obi-Wan, his body racked with sobs that echo through the empty chamber.
Why didn't the Force protect her? Why wasn't love enough?
Obi-Wan holds him, two broken men surrounded by the ruins of everything they fought to protect.
Sometimes love means letting go, Anakin. Sometimes it means accepting that we can't save everyone.
The Council's final decision surpasses even its own members. Instead of execution or exile, they chose a third path. Under emergency powers granted by the surviving loyal senators, they establish a new precedent.
Honor both of them, we will. Padme for peace, Anakin for sacrifice. Preserve what good remains, we must.
In the depths of the Jedi Temple, a new chamber is prepared. Not a cell, but a place of healing. Here, Anakin will spend his days in guarded meditation, working to rebuild the light that grief nearly extinguished. Months later, Jedi younglings approach the temple's memorial garden, their small hands carrying flowers they place before two simple markers. Padmé Amidala, Light of the Republic. Anakin Skywalker, the broken chosen one. Deep within the temple, in a chamber filled with soft light and the sound of flowing water, a figure sits in meditation. His eyes remain closed, his breathing steady, his lips moving in barely audible whispers.
Padme.
Not Vader, not Emperor, not monster. Just a shattered man whom the galaxy tried too late to save, learning slowly that even broken things can still hold light if someone cares enough to help them heal. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you'd like to join us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.